Early in my days of leadership, I believed that I had to keep it all together. I believed that I had to always be strong for my team. I believed that. Never show weakness. I thought that it would make me seem less capable to my clients, to my team, to everyone. But these fears were rooted in the past. They were rooted in a fear of judgment because of me being bullied when I was younger. So I had these fears. The more I tried to hide my insecurities, the more disconnected I felt, the more misunderstood I felt. And honestly, people didn't really understand me because I had this wall up. In leadership, yes, you do the hard things, and some things are meant for you to carry alone. However, that doesn't mean that you should shut people off completely and be yourself. That's not what leadership is. Being vulnerable isn't being weak, it's being real. Hello and welcome to Beyond the Scale. I'm your co-host, Madi, and today we're talking about how there's strength in vulnerability and how being vulnerable can open up the doors to connection with the people in your life. We all have our struggles, our pain points, things that we're going through internally, but when you open up about your own struggles, that's when you lead the way for others to be open and honest with you. And it's that human experience and the connections that we have that make life worth living. And I feel like as a society, especially for men, society frowns upon being vulnerable and sees it as a weakness and an imperfection. But again, it can lead to unlocking connections as well as unlocking opportunities. And remember, I want to say this, I want to express this now. Vulnerability is not complaining. It's not about woe is me and just dumping on someone. That's not what it is. It is about allowing your true self to be seen so that others can hear you and feel you, and so that you don't have to face challenges alone, because nobody wants to go through challenges alone. And early in my days of leadership, I believed that I had to keep it all together. I believed that I had to always be strong for my team and always be strong. I believed that. Never show weakness. And I thought that it would make me seem less capable to my clients, to my team, to everyone. But these fears were rooted in the past. They were rooted in a fear of judgment because of me being bullied when I was younger. So I had these fears. And the more I tried to hide my insecurities, the more disconnected I felt, the more misunderstood I felt. And honestly, people didn't really understand me because I had this wall up. And I was withdrawing from my friends. I was isolating at work because I do believe that in leadership, yes, you do the hard things, and some things are meant for you to carry alone. However, that doesn't mean that you should shut people off completely and be yourself. That's not what leadership is. And I feel like as a mom, potentially, maybe you shut yourself off from your kids because you don't want to appear weak or as a burden. I'll get into that more later. But I eventually opened up to my partner and I was like, I don't think I can do this alone. And I was so worried and stressed and all of these emotions. I was like, I don't think I can do this alone. And his response was so simple. It was like, have you ever shared this with them? Have you ever asked for help? And I thought that was crazy. Never, ever even crossed my mind to communicate these fears or these doubts, my insecurities about getting this done. Never. Because I was like, I have to do this alone. That's just how it is. And I didn't want to be a burden because it's my burden to carry. But the more I reflected on that conversation, I did get the courage to have the conversation with my team. I said, listen, I want to do a good job. I want to execute on this thing. And to be frank, I don't think it's going to get done the way it needs to get done if I do it myself. Can you help me? What do you think? And it was so simple, so easy. And after this, I realized the power of just sharing, of just asking for help, where others see, like, oh, she's got it. And I just put that wall down, because instead of pushing people away, what it did was it started to draw people closer to me. It started to create a deeper trust and allowed people to be like, okay, she's breaking down these walls. Let me break down my walls too and communicate. And it just went both ways. And the connection was just more authentic in that way. Again, how simple that solution was, but the fear of being seen as weak and not capable of something prevented me. And what you need to realize, the epiphany here, is being vulnerable isn't being weak. It's being real. It's being honest and sharing your authentic and real struggles as humans, because who are we kidding? We all have struggles. And to pretend that anything else is true is a lie. So it's okay to be human. And I think we believe that we have this reputation to uphold and this standard to protect. And if we do anything other than that, then that will make us less than. And that's just not true. And being vulnerable allows you to feel less alone, more connected, and experience tremendous growth in your life, because you're not going through things alone. And vulnerability became this bridge for me. It connected me to others around me in a way more meaningful level, way more. People trusted me with their struggles because they saw that I wasn't perfect myself. So here's the steps that you can take in your own life to practice being more vulnerable, being more open, being more communicative. Baby steps, right? So first thing you can do is identify your vulnerabilities or your weaknesses, however you want to see it, and get to the root of it. Get to the why of it. So for example, maybe you have a struggle with maintaining your health or maintaining a healthy weight, and just reflect on that and say, I feel vulnerable about my health because I've had challenges with maintaining a balanced diet and exercise routine. And this stems from a fear of not meeting my past goals. Get to the root of it. Same thing. Maybe you're hesitant to pursue a personal growth opportunity, a job promotion, anything like that. And really test that and say, okay, I feel vulnerable about pursuing this new growth opportunity because I have a fear of failing and not living up to these expectations because I faced a setback in the past. So you need to identify these things so that they don't hold you back. Identify where it's coming from, and then start accepting that no one is perfect. No one is perfect. The person that you look up to most in this world has their issues. They have their struggles, and you just need to embrace your own. Reach out to people for support because, again, we are all human. Your unique struggles might not be so unique. Everybody is going through something. And then practice open communication with your family, with your friends, at work. Just be honest and open about what you're feeling and share your challenges. Ask for that support. Extend that branch to people because people want to help. They really do. But how can they do that if they don't know what's going on? And just be willing, again, to do the same when others are communicating their struggles. It shouldn't be one-sided. When someone comes to you, that means they trust you enough to be vulnerable. So go into it without judgment and be that listening ear. Again, take the small steps. Begin with, asking your partner for help in a task at home. Just little things show that you're vulnerable and you're open to receiving things. And these small things, what they'll do is they'll build confidence. They'll build confidence for you to be more open, for you to be less perfect, and know that that's okay. So, to put a bow on it, by embracing your imperfections, practicing the open communication, taking small steps, creating safe spaces for people to come to you and be open, you can turn a perceived weakness into a strength, because nobody wants to feel like their struggles are unique to them and they're not felt and that they're alone. We all desire a human connection. And in order to build that, we have to be more open, because with our devices, it makes it harder and harder to connect. So we have to do the work to do that. And remember, being vulnerable, it makes you human. And that's where real strength lies, in letting people see the true you and what's going on in there. So thank you for joining me on this journey of vulnerability today. And I hope that you feel empowered to connect in the comments below with your questions, your comments, topics that you want to hear. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.